For those of you that long for greener areas, or in this case, water, there are 3 big lake-based communities in town. We have Desert Shores, we have Lake Las Vegas, and today we're in the lakes. There are over 11,000 residents that make up the community of the lakes. The community itself is 2 square miles, but here's what's really cool about it. If you happen to have a home that's on the water, as you'll notice, there's some pontoon boats throughout the community. These are electric boats, and yes, you absolutely can go on them, and you could take an evening sunset cruise or have some friends over for the day. You want to get out on the water without traveling across the valley out to Lake Mead. This is definitely a fun option. But I'm looking forward to showing you this community. It's going to be fun. Let's go take a look. So as part of the tour of Lake Las Vegas, we're going to be showing you from a couple different angles. This is Lake Sahara, which is at the center of the lakes in Las Vegas on the west side of the valley. And one of the things I really like about it is peaceful, it is serene. If you take a look out over the lake, you know, if you're having one of those stressful days or you're a water person, you come from a part of the country that used to seeing water, if you need to get around water and you don't want to drive real far, there's obviously several lakes in our valley that you can come hang out in, and Lake Sahara happens to be one of the most beautiful in my mind, and you can see all the way across to the other side. Very peaceful. One of the things that you'll really like is the walkability of the community. We've got a lot of little neighborhood parks, and as we're going to drive around and show you the little individual lakes that exist within the community, closer to certain neighborhoods than others, but they all feed into this beautiful view here. As part of water conservation throughout the southwestern United States that I'm aware of, there's a lot of this landscaping changeover, as you're seeing right here. This whole area used to be grass and heavy water required bushes and stuff. You can see it's being completely torn up. Obviously the big beautiful trees are remaining, but they're going to replace all of that with a nice low maintenance desertscape that does not require the same level of water commitment. One of the things that is a big initiative here in the valley, I think it's a great thing. There's no sense wasting water on plants that aren't even really indigenous to the area, and then using it in places that absolutely require it, like of course keeping golf courses and play areas and things like that well watered to keep the landscaping alive. So this is an example of the lower maintenance or lower water requirement desertscape. As you can see in this section of the lakes, they already replaced all the grass, and it looks good. You don't feel like it's been completely eliminated, but this is what it used to look like, all this grass running up the side. That'll be in the next phase, and this is what the entire valley essentially is going to. So, if you're new to the desert, you might really have a craving for grass. You want to see it a lot more. Get out and play some golf. That'll definitely be places where you'll see a lot of grass. One of the other great features of the lakes is throughout the community, they have these little mini lakes. A nice little water feature. If this doesn't give you that welcome home feeling, I don't know what does. Really peaceful and tranquil. They got the little benches out here, so you can sit out here and just relax and unwind. One of the aspects about the lakes that makes it really unique is the mature landscaping. The other thing about the lakes, because of the time frame that it was built in, which was throughout the 80s and early 90s, is the lot sizes tend to be closer to the 8,000 square foot range, whereas a lot of the newer stuff built within the last 20 years, 6,000 to 6,500 is the norm. Of course, on some of the entry-level product, you're going to see lot sizes in the 4,000s. As mentioned earlier, we got miles and miles of walking paths, as you'll see over on the left over here. So beautiful place for morning exercise, evenings, or you just want to get out in the middle of the day. So we're in front of Oakmont at the Lakes. This is a assisted living and memory care facility within the lakes. If anybody has any aging family members or any concerns about being able to have care for them, I can vouch firsthand for this property. I actually had my grandfather in here in the latter stages of his life. A couple things that I would point out. Number one, it's an active assisted living lifestyle if you choose to have it. I can remember after my grandfather had moved in here that I had to schedule appointments to come and see him because his social calendar had really expanded. But the care is absolutely exceptional here. And as you can tell from the outside of the building, very tastefully done, well landscaped. For privacy reasons, we're not going to go inside and film the inside of this facility, but do know throughout the Las Vegas Valley, we have these type of facilities and amenities available, and specifically right here in the middle of the lakes is Oakmont. As part of our tour here of the Lakes community on the west side of the Las Vegas Valley, wanted to touch on one of the prominent community parks that are in the area. One of the themes that you'll see consistent throughout our videos is any community that we move into, we are absolutely going to highlight the parks and the different recreation that's available. Today we're at Desert Breeze Community Park. This is a 240-acre park, and it's not even fully developed yet. We're standing in front of the community center with the aquatic center over here. In a minute, we're gonna walk around, we're gonna look at the dog park and check out the ball fields and things like that. I love this park for a couple reasons. Number one, they have literally thought of everything. They got soccer fields, they got baseball fields, they got a skate park, dog park, they got playground areas, they got picnic areas, they have festivals here. We've seen concerts where they close it up, bring in community concerts. Really, really good community park. Let's go take a look and see some of the other aspects, and we're gonna hit that right now. Come on. So we're in the dog park right now here at Desert Breeze Park. One of the things I think that's done really well is they separate into 4 different recreation areas. So we've got the large dog pen, we've got medium dog pen, and then we have small dog pen, and then they have one that they alternate. It's kind of like the wild card. As you know, as some of the dogs will do some digging, beat up the grass a little bit, so they'll give different park sections a little bit of a break. Hello, hi, how are you? Yes, very friendly. So they also have water fountains that are out here for the dogs. You got the adult one, which is the top, and then you've got a little one down below that they leave bowls out, so there's always water here for the dogs. So hockey has been a part of this community ever since I moved here in 1986, but we have absolutely seen an explosion in hockey's popularity since the Vegas Golden Knights, the current NHL world champions. They've got outdoor hockey, whether you be on your foot or we see a lot of roller hockey happening here. They have 2 hockey rinks in this particular park. Really, really good. I've been out here in the evenings. You'll see it full with people playing. We're by one of the children's playground park areas right now. Big in the Las Vegas summer heat is these covered sail structures. You'll see this at pretty much every community park. Really, really prominent here. Plus around the outside, there are multiple shade structures for, like this one over here, if you're having a barbecue or a family gathering, or let's just say you bring your kids to the park, you're turning them loose, you want to relax here, pop up your laptop, maybe do a little bit of work. Really well set up to keep you engaged, close proximity to the kids. And of course they do fence them off so that, like anything else, you can keep them contained. So incidentally, as we cross by to the baseball fields, over here on the left is one of several little basketball courts that they've got. They've got some lower height rims for younger kids. And then of course they've got regulation going side to side, and then a full regulation court in the middle. And there's a couple of those in the community. So at the baseball parks right now, if you remember a few episodes ago, we did a video up in the trails, which was for 12 and under baseball, and the outfield depth, we're running just a little over 200 feet. Out here, the outfield depth runs about 300 feet down in the corners. So definitely an older group of kids. One of the things I think has been really unique about Vegas the last several years, we've produced a lot of Major League Baseball talent. And I would say one of those is not only because of the great coaching that exists here, but it's also the climate where they can play for a much longer season than maybe in some of the areas in the northeast where it's a little colder year round. Each one of the ball fields that you'll see in different communities are gonna have this central area of the community where the restrooms are, vending, get some food, snacks, that kind of stuff. We've got a ton of baseball tournaments here. Baseball is definitely a big area of recreation. This skate park, pretty big. This is one of 3 park skating areas. This one, admittedly, I am not a skater, but I do respect what they've built here. They've got a lot of elevation change, a couple of different, I'm gonna call them pits because I'm not a skater, so I don't know what you call them, but there's a rail over there. You've got little jumps and things like that. Really well set up, and once again, in a good, quiet area of the park. Definitely, if you're into skating, this is a park you would want to come and enjoy an afternoon or an evening and have some fun. So one of the elementary schools in the lakes is MJ Christensen Elementary School. So like most elementary schools in the Valley, MJ Christensen is kindergarten through 5th grade, and 6th grade you move on to the middle school. But this school's obviously been here for a few years. The whole neighborhood was built in the 80s, very well established, and has a good overall reputation. All right, so as we continue our tour of the lakes area here on the west side of the Las Vegas Valley, we are in the southwest outer edge of the lakes community, kind of touching a little bit of the outskirts. But a couple of things I want to talk to you about is you've got the core of the community, and then you have the supporting areas around the community. And while we're here in this strip center, I want to highlight a couple of things. First off, we've got Basil Lime Restaurant. If you like really good Thai food, Basil Lime is absolutely phenomenal. One of our favorites as far as where we like to enjoy eating out when we're in this area of town. What's been unique, and I think this is probably not just unique to this area, it's probably unique across the country, is since COVID and the increase in people getting food delivered to them, whether it be for Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of those, we see a lot of these restaurants where the tables are open, but they are busy, meaning they're busy producing food, but not as busy with dining. In the strip center here, we also have, if you're into CrossFit, from a fitness standpoint, Social City is right here on the edge of the lakes. And then as we walk down to the end, I'm gonna show you a kind of a fun and unique boxing gym called DLX Boxing. Come take a look. So here at DLX Boxing, what's kind of unique about it is for people that like, a different type of workout, more than just go to the gym and move static weights, you're gonna get a cardio workout, but you're also gonna learn some technique and skill and have the opportunity to really get a good workout. So one of the areas that, or one of the community's amenities to this area is Canyon Gate Country Club, which is right adjacent to the lakes. There's a lot of people that live in the lakes that make this their home country club. Canyon Gate Country Club is actually a very challenging golf course to play. It's not particularly a long golf course. The time period that it was built was not of the current era of golf. However, what makes this golf course really challenging is from 150 yards and in. The greens are smaller, they hold well, very well maintained golf course overall. We'll just get a quick little eyeball so you can see a couple of the views in this community and get a feel for this country club since it is in such close proximity to the lakes. So we're standing on the 18th green at Canyon Gate Country Club. This is one of the signature holes on this golf course. You'll get a feel for it in just a moment. One of the things I will say is that as you play this golf course, it's well landscaped, very open golf course, so you see a lot of greenery, but you also have views of the entire western mountain range. I mentioned earlier that from 150 yards and in, this golf course is a little challenging. I'm going to show you how. Just watch the elevation change from me on this green alone. That's a significant drop off, and this is throughout. There's also a lot of subtle breaks left and right. You got to know which way the city is. You got to know which way the mountain is, because that will definitely have an impact on the pace of the ball. And as you look over here, this is the 9th green. It's going to be a little bit out in the distance from our view, but you get the idea. Everything breaks back to the right, and the water definitely comes into play off the tee. And then of course on your second shot as you come over here to the green. From a country club standpoint, I think it's a very good value in terms of the cost. And it's got a great group of members. They have an outstanding ladies league, women's league that plays here on Thursday mornings. There's a Friday afternoon skins game. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, there's men's group events in the mornings as well. So one of the things I always check to find out what water comes into play and what water doesn't is you look in the water, and you can see there's a couple of golf balls sitting right here. I see 3 already, and I know a lot of the members will come out and fish out looking for the good Pro V1s to keep. And as you look back over here, I mean, to me, this is absolutely beautiful. It's got the nice stone bridge that you got to cross to get over from the fairway into the green. Just part of the overall appeal of this golf course. It's not only challenging in terms of its play, but it's also visually stimulating and enjoyable. So one of the fun things, if you want to host a event, a party, a gathering, whether it be a few friends or hundreds, weddings, birthday parties, even just corporate events, it's a great entertainment venue, and they have a lot of outdoor space. Let's go inside and take a look at the country club facilities itself. I think they're well done. They did a renovation just a few years ago, so this place absolutely shows beautifully. So one of the benefits to the members of the country clubs, if you need to have corporate meetings or any type of meetings, they have the boardroom is available to all members. You just go ahead and reserve it. But I mean, this is I think, absolutely beautiful meeting room. Makes quite a statement, and the best part is that you can order all the food right here on site, so you don't have to leave or go away to have any of the meetings that you want to have. No interruptions, food brought in, keep working, keep doing whatever you're doing, or just a great venue to hang out with some cool people. Of course, what country club would be complete without its own dining room and bar? Great social place for after a round, or just come down for an evening. They've got a lot of different entertainment here that happens on a nightly basis and certainly on the weekends. Take a look at the spectacular views on this patio. If you're having an event here, sunset, evening, I mean, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, as those mountains are they just stand out. And you're sitting right over the top of the golf course. We'll take a look at the other sports facilities they have. Canyon Gate Country Club below, they have a full gym with, free weights, treadmills, ellipticals, all kinds of machines that you'd need. But you also have over here, they've got a bocce ball court. They've got the pool, lap pool, even a little kids play area. And then on the other side, in addition to tennis courts, of course, they have pickleball courts, because that is all the rage, and a very active pickleball club here. Okay, so we are at the Sahara West Library. This is right on the edge of the lakes. This is I think it's one of the best libraries in the valley. And Las Vegas does have a lot of great ones. But in addition to obviously books, they've got meeting rooms, they've got artwork, they've got events for everything from toddlers to young kids to teens to adults. There's a full calendar of events that are always going on here. And let's come take a look at the inside, but check out this artwork they have out up front. It's a pretty cool sculpture. One of the things that I love about libraries in general, not just the books, I really enjoy the artwork that they display. So as mentioned, there's a lot of resources here. You can reserve your own meeting room. If you need a computer, come on in, use one. Also, obviously, all the resources, and then events calendar. A couple things worth noting is the way they have the library divided up. So over here, this is my favorite section, and I'll show you why. Large print. As you get older, this becomes more and more important, especially if you're refusing to get glasses, like some people. So this section back behind us is the young people's section of the library. A lot of the children's books and programs and events are held there. And it kind of wraps around to the corner. There are kids there, so we're not going to go into the area and film it, but you get the idea of how it's divided up. So here's an example of one of the art exhibits that we have. This is by Daniel Attaboy Seifert. This is a lot of used recycling cardboard, paints, and things of that nature that he's made into a really cool art installation. And this is one of his pieces that we're fortunate enough to have shown here. In this section of the Sahara West Library, we have the area known as the studio. And this changes out periodically. We have different artists. Right now they're featuring Stephanie Amon, and her work is the Faces of Hip Hop. So there's a lot of really cool paintings of a lot of cultural icons in the hip hop world. You got Pharrell, Chris Brown. Got a couple of my favorite hip hop artists between Jay-Z over here. We've got Eminem. Of course, we got Snoop. Two icons of icons. You got Tupac's right next to Biggie. It's a pretty good little display, very different, very unique. We also have more traditional artwork over here and a lot of the Vegas theme. And this one happens to feature a lot of the showgirls of years past. So this installation is all the showgirls. One of the things that made the Las Vegas Strip iconic. Take a look at this piece right here. You've got classic showgirl with the big headpiece, but then you have also all the old school downtown Fremont Street logos. So as we wrap up our tour of the lakes area here in Las Vegas on the west side of the valley, a couple things that I always like to recap with is a little bit of a pros and cons of the area. So a couple of the pros. I mean, honestly, the mature landscaping to me, absolutely spectacular, big pine trees, really well done. Other pros that exist, obviously water. If you're a water person, you like to see lakes, being in the lakes, or just having the ability to go sit and enjoy looking at the water, maybe to calm your energy, or just a peaceful, quiet place. That's obviously a big pro. And then another pro is that it's close proximity to Summerlin, and the price tends to be a little bit less. So if you were comparing a property in the lakes, similar size property in Summerlin, you're going to pay a little bit more. This sits right next to Summerlin, so you don't pay that same cost on the home, but you're close proximity to be able to enjoy all the amenities like downtown Summerlin. A couple of the cons, older home. Now, by most of you from around the country, most of the people, most of our clients out there that move here from older communities, something built in the 80s is not that old, but for Las Vegas, that is a little older. Obviously, we have properties going back into the 40s and 50s and 60s, but the 80s. Why is that a con? If the property hasn't been updated, a lot of times the floor plans are a little bit more chopped up, but we have seen over the last decade renovations where they're modernizing everything, opening up walls, and really bringing that along. One of the other cons that, for a lot of people that have to travel across the valley a lot is there are a number of turns that you have to take to get to a freeway. In this case, the 215 freeway. You're either going due west up into Summerlin, or you're going south to catch the 215. The 215 freeway, for those of you that are not familiar with it, it is a beltway system. And what does that mean? Well, it belts around from Henderson all the way up through the southwest, the west, northwest, out to the northeast, and reconnects the 95 down there into the 15. So I don't know if you'd call this one a pro or a con, but it's about 15 to maybe 20 minutes, obviously depending on the time of day and the traffic that it takes to get to the strip. For most of us that are locals, that's not that big of a deal. For those of you that are moving here from a legit busy city, 20 minutes is not a lot of time to spend commuting anywhere. So I will put that in your hands as to whether or not you decide that that's a pro or a con. For most of our clients, if they are working or doing business in the core of the city, it seems like a very reasonable drive time. Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed our tour of the lakes. Naturally, if you have any questions, let us know. Go ahead and hit that bell below so that you can keep up to date on the latest episodes as we release them. And of course, we'd love your comments and your feedback as to other things that we can do to help showcase the city that we absolutely love. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you.